guys, welcome to my channel, Craft Away with May. I'm May. If you are new here, thank you for stopping by to see what I have going on today. If you are returning, thank you so much for coming back to hang out with me. I appreciate each of you all so very much. On this channel, I love to do all things DIY and crafting. I love to do them on a budget. However, I will splurge on occasion, but at the end of the day, I love to have fun no matter what I'm doing. So with that being said, I'm going to just go ahead and jump right into today's video with the information about today's video. So it's kind of a mashup, if you will. So it's going to be a couple of dupes in here, and this is actually my first dupe video, and it's going to be some hacks too, I think. And again, it's going to be like a mashup of items that I've had in my stash time now, and so I knew I wanted to do something with them, but I wasn't sure up until recently. So the first one is going to be a hack. A friend of mine sent this to me, and I was just floored by this. I was like, this is gorgeous. And I was so shocked to find out that this was done with all Dollar Tree items. Okay, so they're using the floral ring there, and they're using flowers and paper plates, you guys. And the little guy up in that corner, that was my child. He's a grown man. You know, but that's still my baby at the end of the day. So here, I thought this was super cool. That was a little too glam for me. So I knew I wanted to do something like that, but I wanted to make it more of my own. And so you guys will see here, I'm gonna probably go a little bit more. It's not really farmhouse. I don't know what decor style it was. It might be considered bohemian chic. I don't know. You guys can let me know at the end of the video. But nonetheless, what you see I'm doing here is just measuring everything out. Now this was all done with, you know, trial and error. It came together. And one thing I will tell you guys, I mentioned this in a few videos back, I am not a measurer. I just really eyeball things, which is really bad to do, because you know the rule, you know, measure twice, cut once, right? And that's not May's rule. But nonetheless, you know, I measured it out here, and I was still off a little bit because I forgot to measure the block part. As you can see right here, it's a little bit smaller than the actual cutout itself, but it wasn't a big deal. At first I thought so, and I even stuck the sanding sponge in there because I have several of those, and I was like, well, maybe this will work for it. But I really did need something a little bit heavier, which is what that block's supply, the weight wise. So anyway, it wasn't bad because the plate is going to end up covering that part of it, so you won't even see it. But I still was off a little bit on my measurements, but I went back, I fixed that. And the vision I had for this was like a cement color. Like, I don't know why, that's just what came to me when I saw it. And that's what I'm doing. I'm going in with the French linen, I think, and it's by Happy Hobby. I think that's the name of the brand, but nonetheless, it's the one at Walmart, you guys. And it was really nice. Like, I liked once it dried, it did have that cement color that I was looking for. And you can also add in, I think, I have never tried this, but I think you can add in, is it baking powder or cornstarch or something like that? I know you can add in to get that cement texture if you wanted it, but I was not requiring that here because the plates were so flimsy, and once I cut the ring down, it didn't have that stability that it has, you know, as a whole. So I didn't want to weight it down more than I needed to. So literally what I'm doing here, and I'm sorry I picked it up off camera, I do try to come back in, you guys, so but you're not missing anything. All I'm doing here is just hot gluing it down just to make sure it's gonna stick, because my past experience with floral foam, it will melt when I'm using my hot glue. And I'm so excited too, because I finally figured out a way to have my hot glue gun with me while I'm crafting. So it took a little maneuvering, but I was able to make it work. So I was really excited about that. And so here what I'm doing is, once I get everything glued down, I'm going in with the sanding block, because like I said, I measured it, but it still came out wrong, simply because I didn't turn the plates how they are faced here. I put them on top of each other, and so when I cut them out, the little imperfections once I flip the plate over was really noticeable. So it just looked kind of, you know, topsy-curvy, wavy, you know, up and down. So I just sanded that out, which I was super excited because I thought maybe I was gonna have to go in, you know, with my X-Acto knife or a blade and kind of trim it down. But actually it did, once I was able to sand it, it smoothed itself out. Well, it was still a little imperfect, but again, because I am going to be putting some flowers in here, as you guys can see, it covers it. And here I'm just showing you what it looks like. I raised the flowers out, but what I did off camera, because like I said, I wasn't happy with the overall color, so I did go in and distress the side of the foam, added in some that faux leather ribbon from the 99-cent store, one of the little wooden rings. I ordered these off of Amazon, but the Dollar Tree does have them. And then I went in with some thumbtacks, and that was it on that. So I really think, you know, that was really cute, and I'm going to give you guys a better shot, of course, at the end. Now this next one, guys, oh, this is cute to me. Like, it was super cute, but it was $84. I'm like, yeah, it's not that cute, you know. No. And definitely, since I can make it myself. Now, so I remember I've had this vase, you guys, probably for about 5 years now, and it was under my sink, and I just did not throw it away for whatever reason. I actually thought I did, but it was another one. It was a purple one that I threw away. And so when I saw this, I'm like, I think I can do this. So I went in with some different color goats, but ultimately decided to go with the rose gold, and I think it is by Decor, the metallic rose gold paint by Decor. I think, you guys. If not, it would be by Folk Art, but I think it is Decor. Anyway, you can use whatever color if you guys decide to redo this. Now, the downfall here, because the picture is like a frosted glass coloring, this green, yeah, it was a beast, okay? But it was okay. I was not, like, you know, totally disturbed by it. I was able to cover it up. But the rose gold actually played very nice, and it did create that frosted effect, which I was really pleased with. And so I went in with the color parchment here, and I didn't know whether this was going to be a good or a bad thing. But it actually played out very nice, and it, you know, gave me what I was looking for. So now I'm going to be using the stickers from Dollar Tree, and they are the ones that appear like they're the pressed flowers, which I was like, instantly when I saw that picture, I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, I can totally do this. And so that's literally it, you guys. That picture, or that vase in that pop-up I showed you guys, was $84.99, and we made this one for less than $3. Okay, so I was really happy about that. And I'm not even including the floral bunch or the greenery bunch here, but I'm just saying, you know, even with that, it still came under $6. So I'm just showing you different flowers, and again, at the end, guys, as I always say, you're going to see everything come together. I just present better that way. So this next one, this is a thrift flip. That's what the other thing I couldn't think of. I couldn't remember what was it, but hello, it's a thrift flip. So I've had this in my stash too for some time. I found this at a thrift store. It was $4, and I forget the name of what it's called. Romathoff or something like that. I know I'm checking it. Romathoff, I think it is. Romathoff or whatever. Anyway, it's terracotta, and it's gorgeous, and it's huge. It's really tall, and I love it. And so here it was staying really bad, and I didn't want to compromise the color, because that's what drew me to it. And but I went in with some nail polish remover and tried to remove it that way, and that did not work at all. So what I decided to do was go in with some pumpkin colored paint, and it was a very close match. It was a little bit brighter than the terracotta, of course, but it was a good match. So what I did, and you'll see what I'm going to do here. So I go in with painting it, but I take a dry napkin and I wipe off the excess. So I'm really just trying to cover up the stain and get it to blend a little bit more. I'm not going to add any Mod Podge here, because again, I want that clay, terracotta look. Like, it's a gorgeous vase. And so that worked out pretty well. And so this is what drew my inspiration of how to design it, was those little vases there. But because I didn't paint it white, I decided to paint the leaves white, which are the leaves that the stickers that I got from Dollar Tree. The ones that's just, you know, a little palette of sticker, the greenery. Anyway, I did that. I let it dry, and this was kind of a little fail on my part because I should have taken them off when they were like about 50% dry, because they did end up sticking to the paint ended up sticking to the leaves, and so I did have to weed the excess off, which was actually not even a fail, you guys. It actually made it look like these were painted on to the vase, so it was very rustic looking, and I liked that. Like, I really liked it. The only thing I would probably say is maybe I could have went maybe a shade darker, opposed to the, you know, instead of using parchment, maybe something of the beige, more beige tone colors. But nonetheless, in the end, it was very cute. I did also decorate this one, and not even decorate, I just added some macrame rope with some dark beads from the Dollar Tree to it, just let them hang, and that was really it. Because again, I just did not want to take away from the integrity of the vase. I wanted to keep as much of it as I could with just having the little leaves to pop out, because I just felt like that just added a little something extra, and that's really all it is. And it was very bohemian chic. I loved it so much. Now this one, I think this is probably my favorite one of today because it's so unique. But this was an inspiration piece, okay? So it's not gonna be exactly like that in the picture, but seeing that picture and the new wallpaper that Dollar Tree has out, I was inspired to try to create something similar. And so what I'm going to do is take 2 of the oval pieces from Dollar Tree, and all the rest of the little wood items I have here, which is like a wood ring, a wooden napkin holder, wooden cube. I believe they all came from Michael's, if I'm not mistaken. If not, it would have been Hobby Lobby. But the ring, I'm sorry, the wood ring was off of Amazon, because I purchased so many of those before I actually, you know, realized that Dollar Tree even carried them now. So anyway, but you can find those at Dollar Tree. So here I'm just outlining, as you see, and I cut it out, and this was so simple to do, and you guys have to let me know what you think about it. Like, you have to let me know, because I felt like it was just so unique and so chic and so cute. Oh my gosh, I really liked it. But even looking at this right here, I was like, you know, this would make really cute coasters. Like, I don't know, and even just to put them on your side table or coffee table or something like that, just like this, and just display some little item on it, you know. I really like the way it turned out. It looked like that, is it mosaic towel? I don't know. I don't think it's mosaic towel. I know you guys know what I'm talking about, but that's what it looks like. Anyway, so I went in with my rotary tool here to remove some of the excess wallpaper. It wasn't a lot. I just, you know, my hand's just not that sturdy. So, but nonetheless, I just took off the little bits, and then all I did was go in with my sanding block, which you'll see here in a few minutes, and I just sanded away whatever was left, just to keep from getting any, you know, paper cuts or anything like that while I was handling it. And it took it beautifully. Like, it didn't even the sanding sponge did not even take off the paint. So I was happy about that. But nonetheless, like, this was just cute by itself to me. It looked like tile. It just, I think that's all it was. I think that's what it's called, guys, tile. That's what it looked like. But so all I'm gonna do once I get it sanded down really nice is I'm gonna take the little wooden block, and that's gonna be my spacer. Okay, so this is not going to have any sides to it, but it's still going to act as a vase. It's going to appear to look like a vase. And so I was super excited about that, because I was like, I don't know if this is really going to work or not, but it stood up on its own with just one side, and then it stood up all together. And then I thought, you know, this will make a cute paper plate holder. So I might revisit that and actually do that, because I've been trying to think of how I can do a paper plate holder, because in this house, we use paper plates. We do. And I'm not ashamed of that. So anyway, the fail here in this, it was afterwards, is I had a little wooden medallion that I got off of Amazon, like a big old bag of them. And I was thinking, I need something, I want to add just a little bit more height to it, not too much, you know, just enough to kind of mimic the picture a little bit. But I knew the shape would be a little bit different. So this wood round, it's like really, it's not super thin, probably about 1/8 of an inch maybe. And so I was like, okay, I'll add that in there, they'll give me the height. But by me doing that, I closed off the bottom of the napkin holder ring. and the wooden ring. So basically, to put flowers in there with stems, I should have left it open to slide them down, because you won't see them behind the pallets. And so, or planes. But I still could do that. I just had to take the flower off the stem and put it in there, and you guys will see how I start. And this is where I went to put it in. I'm like, oops, okay, yeah, you shouldn't have did that, May. But I ended up, like I said, taking it off the stem, and it still looked cute. Like, I didn't show you a shot here because I actually had another color of flowers that I wanted to put in there. So it really came out beautiful, and I can't wait till we get to the end. I can't wait. Okay, so now this is our mashup. This one here, I had these boxes since I got them after Christmas for like $2 each. And then I've had these little mini vases forever. I got them from Daiso, and they were like $1.50 at the time. I always knew I wanted to do something with them, but because they're so tiny, I was limited. But I always knew that when I purchased them, I was like, I want these in white. That's all I knew at that point. So I did try to go in and paint it. It did not act right. I ended up taking it out to spray paint it. It did take the spray paint, but however, I didn't have my glasses on. I couldn't see. And so it did drip some. So what I basically decided to do is to omit one of them and just put one onto the box to give it some height. And I just really love the look of that. It almost had like a lamp look to it. But you guys will see it come together. And because I didn't change anything on that box. I didn't paint it. I just only painted the bottom part and literally glued it together. And then I added in some eucalyptus, and you guys will see that. Now next, if you're like me, I like paintings. I love paintings. I love to paint. I'm not a painter, but I do love to paint, especially when I'm stressed. Like, it's just such a good stress reliever. And so I saw this painting here for $135, you guys. Yes, you heard me correct, $135. Now, Dollar Tree has these new stickers. They're huge. They're out, right? Oh my gosh, they're gorgeous. And so when I saw this, I'm like, yeah, no. We're not going to pay $135 for you, boo. We're going to go ahead and make this ourselves. And so I had some canvas. I have a million of canvases because at one point they were like doing all these huge size, just various sizes of canvases. So I had two that were, I think it was like 12 by 8 inches or 11 by 8 inches or something like that. Anyway, I thought maybe the flower would be too small, but it fit perfectly, you guys. And I forgot to show the first one, but you're going to see it at the end. I'm so sorry. And I was inspired by that first one. I was inspired by this one. Now, this one is not an exact to the picture. It was more, I was inspired by the colors, and I remember having these flowers in my stash. And so I just placed them together and just created my own print. And it really looked like somebody went in like with watercolor, or they just drew this. Like, you can't really tell. Of course, if you're looking at it closely, you can tell. But you can always put Mod Podge over it. I did not want to do that because the cool thing about this is if you decide that you want to switch this up with some of the other stickers that Dollar Tree is carrying, you can easily remove these. Like, they're so easy to come off as long as they're not sticking to one another. So I had to learn that the hard way because I was like, I'm placing them around, but I was trying to maneuver around, and the adhesive was very sticky. So aside from that, but you can still go in and Mod Podge it. Like, it's not, a do or die situation. It's fixable. But once I got it situated to, where I was happy with it, I just thought this was gorgeous. I absolutely thought this was so gorgeous. And this truly looks like someone painted. It looks like very nice art. And I would definitely display this. And so I was happy with the outcome. And, again, these projects were, just something I had thrown together, and I was thinking about, something I hadn't done yet. And I just wanted to, take a shot at it and see what happens. And I loved everything. So in a few seconds here, guys, you're going to see everything coming up. And I hope you guys like it. I hope you stuck around to the end. Please feel free to leave me a comment. As I always say, you just know it's not required, only desired, because I love to get comments. I love to chat with you guys. But here we go, guys. And I gotta tell you, I was loving it. This was so cute. And I did do some distressing on here, like I said, off camera, just to bring it together. And I don't know what to call this. I don't know what style of decor to call this. But I do love it. It's very simple, very cute and really can fit into any space. You know, it's very, very nice, and I have no complaints here. I'm definitely going to try this again with a different style. And here is my quote unquote painting. And I just want you guys to see how it paired up well with that square vase there, you know. And I just thought that was just a cute combination. Again, something you can just display, especially if you have like a white room, you know, and you just want to add just a tad bit of color to it. This would be like the perfect piece to do that. It's so simple, so elegant. And again, I'm all about putting art on the floor right now. I don't know why, but I am, and it just works for me, you know. And I have some things up, but I just really, you know, that's what I'm jamming on right now. And so here he goes. But that vase, I was like, oh my god, it was not the exact color match, but it was definitely a you know, a close match. And I'm sorry guys for the background. You know, full disclosure as always. And here's our terracotta vase, and it's really orange, I know, but I feel like it still kept the vase as it was. And I think just adding the little simple embellishments to it just added a little pop to it. Like, I love this. Like, again, I can see this sitting on the floor in the hallway somewhere, like just being cute. And this, y'all, this one is my favorite. I'm telling y'all. I know sometimes people be like, I can't choose a favorite. I always have a favorite, I think, and this one is it. Like, this, if you didn't know it was wood, you wouldn't know it was wood. Especially if you put some Mod Podge over it, like, you would not be able to tell. I think this is so cute, and like I say, you don't have to put flowers in it. You can just leave it like this. You can even bling that out. Like, that is a great conversation piece, I believe. And there is the rose. Like, that was just gorgeous to me as well. And here's the little boxes with the little mini vase at the bottom. I love the way this came together, especially the height, you know, difference there. I like the contrast I created with that, and I can totally see this on a front porch or something like that. That's just where my vision goes, because it's so light, and just the bush, it just, you know, the planting, the pottery, not pottery plant. This reminds me of a bush. But lovies, thank you for sticking around with me to the end. I appreciate you. If you have not already, please consider subscribing, liking, and hitting that notification bell, just so you know every time I upload a video. And as I always like to say, lovies, fall in love every day. Every day that you have an opportunity to open your eyes is an opportunity to fall in love with at least one something that day. So until the next time, lovies, be safe, be kind, and happy crafting your days away. And I hope to see you all in the next video, and I hope you enjoyed your time with me today. Sorry. And so without further ado, I'm just gonna kiss you all goodbye. Bye.